Yeah, welcome back, guys. This is Beyond the Binge.
Beyond the Binge, and this is sort of our show we do with each other just to kind of blow off steam at the end of the month and
Yeah, talk about the things we've binged.
right, because this Binge Warmers has a lot of different context, but we're still on Ben 10, but we think variety. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of different stuff. We're watching a lot of different stuff, and to keep those episodes more Ben 10 focused, we're doing this to kind of like get our brains more acclimated to just kind of we've talked about it, we got it out of the air,
and that's part of it. We binge a lot of stuff. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the main reason we started the show.
Exactly. So we're just doing a fun little. We've explained this already in the last episode, but if this is your first episode, please like and subscribe and give us a comment telling us what your favorite thing that came out or that you binged in November.
It doesn't have to be new. I mean, we talk about...
Yeah, I talk about a lot of old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few things today to talk about that.
I think just happen to be kind of current, but I think most of mine predate the month. So
predate. I like that word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was loud.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, don't do it again.
Okay.
It's like hitting my eardrums.
Finger popping each other's asshole.
We need to go back and watch this.
We should do it. Yeah, it'd be a fun. Maybe
it's two of them. Knock them out.
It's not bad. Yeah, we could do one episode of that easy.
Yeah. Oh, easy money.
Easy peasy.
Ice Cube all day long.
I love Ice Cube.
We'll do Michael Keaton. His best showing is "Are We There Yet?" And then the sequel, "Are We Done Yet?" The best Ice Cube.
I prefer him in what didn't he like voice something like crazy recently?
Yeah, he was the Superfly.
Oh, I prefer Superfly.
Bro, is
he good?
Good.
I almost watched it, but my Paramount Plus ran out like right when I was about to watch it.
Oh, dude. We'll have to watch it.
I think really Bobby, my brother, he was watching it on Paramount Plus, and then he paused it to go do something else, and then came back to watch it, and it's like your subscription has run out.
He's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with
what
this?
What am I gonna do? I'd only seen half a movie, so he just
Do you call each other Hopper?
No.
Yeah, it'd be confusing. You call your mom, "Hey Hopper."
How do we want to go about it?
Just go ahead and start.
You've got more stuff to talk about, so I think you maybe go first.
Okay, so we talked about it in the first episode, but I this month watched season 2 of Loki.
Okay.
And when I say this is hands down one of the best pieces of media I've consumed this whole year.
Really?
Hopper, when I tell you, like, watching the first season really set it up, but season 2 was so freaking good.
I like season 1 too, so it's really encouraging that it's good too.
It was miles ahead of pretty much any piece of media that Marvel.
Miles Morales.
It's literally probably my favorite Marvel piece that's released in like a year and a half, stupid. Dude. I'm not lying to you.
So wait, it's better than like Guardians 3?
It's close.
I hate when we compare Marvel stuff. It's like, is it better than Guardians? Because Guardians, in my opinion, like stands out,
Yeah, I mean, James Gunn is just a mastermind. Shout out to James Gunn.
It's hard. Yeah,
if you want to come on the show, we would love to have you.
Yeah, if we can influence you a little bit about the DCEU or DC.
Yeah, we've got a lot of notes on that. The main bad guy, is still He Who Remains.
Jonathan Majors.
It sucks that, and not like everything he did was bad. You know, like I'm not supporting him or anything. It sucks because he's so scummy and he's robbed the world of a great because he is a superb actor. You know what I mean? Like, why do you have to be a scumbag? Because he sold this season so well.
Yeah.
They go back in time and they pick him up before he becomes He Who Remains. You see He Who Remains in the final few episodes again. He's planned all this stuff.
Is he still he's a variant of Kang though, right?
Yeah. He Who Remains is like the one that and then like he has this whole fail-safe mechanism to where you go back and find him in like the 1800s.
Oh.
It's not him, but it's a version of him that will set up like the TVA. And
That's interesting.
It's this continuous loop because they go back in time and give him the TVA handbook.
Oh.
And then, so it's what came first after a while, the TVA or him? Did he create the
chicken
TVA?
or egg?
Yes.
Wow.
And Ouroboros is, I don't know his name, but Short Round. Phenomenal. Like the acting in this is just amazing. Every part of it was spot on. There was not a single episode that I said, this is such a bad episode. It outshines like the TV for me was always the standard was WandaVision.
Yeah.
Did it hold a flame to WandaVision? If so, it's a good show. Outshone.
Right,
100%. Yeah. Do you care about spoilers?
Yeah.
So
I'll probably watch it eventually, but
the main gist of it is he's time slipping. That was probably the weakest part. I don't remember them explaining how.
Do they try? Because I saw the trailers. Do they try to like tie that into the Spider-Verse thing at all? Like how he kind of slips when he doesn't have the little band on.
No.
Okay.
He just kind of controls that later on.
Oh, okay.
And at first, it's only going to places he thinks is uncontrollable, but it is going to places that he needs to be at in the time stream. They don't really explain how it works the best. I think He Who Remains at the end kind of says that he planned for that to happen.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, all time, there's no one sacred timeline. It's just a bunch. It's the multiverse.
Yeah.
Well, the loom that was weaving all these into a single timeline, they're like, no, it's just going to weave them all out. Couldn't do that. It was going to blow up the TVA and all stuff. So the first act is like trying to fix that. When that fails, everyone gets scattered to their original timelines. And so Loki has to go and get the band back together. He's like, oh, hey, he's getting everyone back together, and he's going to get them together to fix the TVA. And that's when he realizes he's not doing this to fight He Who Remains. It's part of the reason why he doesn't want He Who Remains to come back. But he realizes it's because he's lonely.
Yeah.
He wants friends. These guys were his friends. He's good now, and he loves his like new family kind of thing.
He doesn't try to get Thor or anything?
No.
He didn't care about Thor?
Yeah, Thor's not really mentioned. And that's what I'll bring that up towards the end. But so he goes back to everyone who's like, you know what, y'all just need to go back. I'm trying to make a fight out of something that's not a fight. Y'all just need to go back to your timelines kind of thing. Bad idea. The loom ends up like breaking completely, and all of reality becomes unraveled. Everyone dies.
Oh, wow.
And right when everyone dies, he learns how to control the time slipping. So he starts going back. And it's this big Groundhog Day thing where he goes back in time to try and fix the loom before it blows up.
Does he see himself like doing it? Or
he kind of takes himself over.
Oh, okay.
So, and he keeps going earlier and earlier. He looks at Ouroboros at one point and goes, I need you to teach me everything you know about this. How long could that take? He goes, a couple centuries. He goes, I've got time. So every time it blows up, he learns more and more. So
I've got time.
Literally centuries of him time slipping. He brings it back as early as he can, and they put the contraption on the loom to like expand it so that it can take it. The problem is the loom, a multiverse is infinite. It's infinitely scaling. You cannot make something that will infinitely scale with the multiverse. So it's destined to fail, is what Loki figures out. And he's like, I can't have the loom blow up. We can't kill He Who Remains. So he goes all the way back to the first season to stop He Who Remains, or to stop Sylvie from killing He Who Remains. And there's a whole time loop of that over and over again. And at one point, he looks at the guy because she just keeps killing him over and over again, over and over again. And he at one point is like, she's trying to kill you. Can you fight? Can you do something? And that's when he kind of looks at Loki.
Well, he wanted them to kill him in the first season, right?
No and yes. It all eventually leads back to him coming back regardless. So he doesn't care. So he notices Loki say that to him, and He Who Remains like, So he freezes Sylvie. He goes, how many times have you done this? And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, oh, you've been time slipping, haven't you? This isn't the first time we've done this, have you? And he's like, oh, you haven't figured out how to freeze people yet? You can totally learn that later. And they have like a conversation. And then he goes down and frees Sylvie. Loki freezes him. And He Who Remains goes, oh, so this isn't the first time we've had this conversation, is it? And Loki gets like, no, we need to talk. And so they sit down, they start talking and stuff. And He Who Remains tells him, I built the loom as a failsafe. That even, no matter what happened, because I knew people would eventually try to kill me, and if that happened, the loom is always set to blow up. It will always blow up because it will blow up to kill everything but the sacred timeline. And then I'll come back and rebuild the TVA kind of thing. I'm an eventuality of it. He said, so that's what you're dealing with. So you can't fix it. You have to just save me or take it over yourself kind of thing. Like, he's basically saying there's no other eventuality. This will happen.
Yeah.
So Loki goes, no, I can change it. And Loki does the sickest thing ever, dude. This is the final part. He goes back to where he originally was trying to fix the TVA and the loom and stuff. And he goes out to where the loom is. And he just grabs all the threads of the timeline. And then he takes them and he teleports to this place where he sits on... Oh, he goes to the place that He Who Remains was at.
He grabs the timelines?
Yeah, he grabs all of them.
How does he do that?
Because he's learned how to time slip and stuff, he is... like He Who Remains. He can stop time. He can move it and stuff.
Wow.
Like,
so he's power scaled up.
Oh, huge.
Wow.
It actually follows the storyline in the comics of Loki, the god of stories.
Oh.
So it's so cool. So he grabs all the timelines, teleports to the He Who Remains like place that's outside of time, sits on the throne. It all comes full circle. It's literally called Burdened with Glorious Powers, like the last episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he sits on the throne. And he is now the loom, essentially. All the timelines are going through him and then out of him. So he is the god of stories.
So he's stuck there forever.
He's stuck there forever. That's his story. And it pans out to all the threads. They've all turned green, and you flip it, and it's the great tree of Norse mythology. I don't want to try. It's like the Ergdrasil or something like that. Yeah. And he's at the center of it. And people are theorizing that's why the time stone is green, because Loki, when he touches all the time, bro, I'm telling you, perfect.
That's pretty cool.
The show is perfect. And I told Des, my girlfriend, I said, the only thing I'm upset about is that Thor will never know how great of a person Loki has turned into. You know what I mean?
Or at least one version of Loki.
Yeah. The eventual Loki. And it's just like, I would rewatch the show right now. Like, if you said we're going to watch it, I would watch the entire show with you right now. Dang. That's how good it is.
Is this your favorite thing you've watched, like, this year, you think?
Probably. I'm not going to lie. Well, okay. I watched Blue Beetle. I love Blue Beetle. That's just,
Blue Beetle's hard to beat, yeah.
You know, just because I'm a fanboy for Blue Beetle. But it's definitely in the top, like, three things I've watched this year. It's so
as far as like Marvel content, it's the best
content in general.
Wow.
I'm telling you, viewers, watch this show. Obviously, spoilers, but that comes with the territory. But it's phenomenal. Everything about it. Everything comes full circle. It's awesome. I left a whole bunch of stuff out too, but that was the gist of it.
I'll check it out.
It's.
I remember when you first finished it, you're like, you've got to watch this. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Still haven't yet. But yeah, so that was my Loki spiel. I'll pass it off to you.
I had a
similar thoughts on Marvel or anything like that.
Well, I had a similar experience. We'll come back to Marvel, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you got some other Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a very similar experience with a show called The Bear.
Oh.
On FX. I watched it on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I hate Hulu's design. I hate how it's laid out.
Why?
It's okay, bro. I would start an episode 9, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to watch episode 9, and then I like have to, pause and come back to it or whatever. Yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, time to finish episode 9, and then I'll go and try to watch episode 9. It's like you've already watched episode 9. Watch episode 10.
Dude, it does that with anime too. It always starts at the end of the other one, and I'm like, stop doing that. Go to the next episode.
Exactly. Or like if it is on the end of the episode, sometimes it'll refresh and it'll play me the first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I've seen this one already, and then I'll watch half of it, and I'm like, I've seen this already. It's just the whole thing. Stop!
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Dude, I hate Hulu's design. Yeah. I'm so glad they're like getting sucked up into Disney Plus.
Kind of.
It's gonna make Disney Plus go up like price wise probably, but like I cannot stand that.
I'm so tired. We gotta talk about streaming too. Just it's getting a little out of hand.
Yeah,
it's getting a little out of hand.
There's too many sites like Paramount Plus. I was just talking about. Like, why does that exist? Why can't that be in something else?
Yeah, Apple TV.
Exactly.
Netflix.
Apple TV is the hard one because it's like y'all don't even do movies.
Yeah.
But they've made some killer stuff.
They've got that new Monarch show.
The Godzilla thing, yeah.
And I'm like, damn it! Now I have to watch it.
I'm gonna wait until it comes out, but I'll
Amazon Prime's got some good stuff too.
Prime does have some. Good stuff.
It was controversial, but The Rings of Power, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, Lord of the Rings is fun. I'm glad they did something with it, but whether people like it or not, I don't know.
But all these streaming sites, dude.
Yeah, Apple too. Apple's got Ted Lasso. I wanted to watch. It's got
it's good.
Severance, which is like a surreal comedy show.
There was one with Jason Momoa in it where he's like blind.
Oh yeah.
What's annoying to me though is all of these streaming sites, and then when you want to watch a movie, it's not on any of them.
It's like
not a single movie.
You gotta wait until it's like on a 2-week timetable of like a specific site.
Yeah.
Or it's like on a free site that you gotta watch a million ads to watch it.
Otherwise, you're going to Prime and paying $3 for it. And it's like,
exactly.
What's the point of Prime if I can't watch the movies?
Dude, that pisses me off sometimes. And
so annoying. I can't tell you the last movie that I actively looked for that I didn't have to pay for.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, sometimes I'll go on Netflix and I'm like, oh, I remember this being in theaters. I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
when you actively want to watch a movie, how many times has it been on a streaming site?
Like very little.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I'm searching for a specific thing, it's like never
and
on
usually I have to rent it from YouTube or Amazon.
We gotta, at this point, just give us cable, but give it to us like in a more like flexible
we've already got
package.
Ads. You're already giving us breaks in between episodes and stuff. Like streaming isn't even what streaming was when it started.
Streaming when it first started was like golden hour.
It was peak, dude.
Peak, dude. Like Netflix when they would just release a whole season.
Yeah.
And then they would continue.
And they had everything because it was only Netflix.
Yeah, right.
They had everything you wanted to watch.
Man, like that first like couple years before, it wasn't like Hulu was the next one I remember.
Yeah, it was Netflix and Hulu for a while. That was golden era.
Golden era.
And then after that, you started getting.
Well, because it would be like Netflix is where you watch old shows. Hulu is where you watch newer shows.
Facts, because it would come out the day after the episode.
Yes, I used to watch The Office when it was still on.
Yeah.
I would go to Hulu and watch like new episodes of The Office.
Yes.
Or How I Met Your Mother. I watched all the rest of like the last like couple seasons on Hulu.
And now there's 8-9 streaming sites. Some of them are good. I love Max.
Yeah.
Disney Plus got good stuff.
Okay. I mean, it's Disney, so
you've got everything Disney. It's frustrating.
And like Netflix Netflix makes some good stuff
sometimes.
It's like the best TV show you've ever watched, or it's
hot
garbage, like a teen drama CW, like lower than CW style, or like Hallmark level stuff. It's that bad, some of it, but they just keep cranking it out. That's our model.
Yeah,
somebody's watching it. You know what I mean? And I've heard from a couple industry people that like that people are they're prioritizing what's called second screen content.
Yeah.
So it's just like, here's something boring that no one wants to pay attention to because they're gonna be on their phone anyway.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful? Don't do that. If you're listening, you gotta turn that around.
Yeah, that's
make something good.
Money, and then you're gonna we're losing money. We gotta up the streaming.
Yeah.
No, just don't make shit. All this fluff stuff, get rid of it.
Get rid of it. It's just like it's piling on your platform and sinking it further down. I think. And you're spending money on it still.
And then you become a joke. Then people don't take it seriously.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of
you
the opposite of that, The Bear is really good. This guy, he inherit. Do you care if I spoil it?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Spoilers for The Bear and The Bear season 2. The Bear season 2 came out this year.
Who's the actor?
Jeremy Allen White.
Do I know him?
Probably not. Or Jeremy White Allen, something like that. I don't know. He's really good. He's got
Alan
this
Jeremy White.
Very some combination of those three words. He's fantastic. He's got this very just like tired look, but he's also like he's someone you would meet at a restaurant and be like, that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
And like he would like sometimes he gets pissed off and he throws something. You're like, whoa, you know.
You deserved whatever he just threw.
Yeah, Carmi's mad about something, you know. Like because we both worked in like we both worked in the food industry at some point. So I'm sure you would relate to it and like it too. But it's I would call it.
Wait, the bear, is that this is a spinoff from Shameless, right?
No.
The guy's from it though, right?
Oh, the actor?
Yeah.
Maybe. I haven't seen Shameless.
Oh. He's like white, got curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's literally from.
He's got like the Roman nose kind of guy.
Yeah. I think it's a continuation of Shameless. Okay, no. They're not connected. It's just the same actor.
I figured. Anyway, thank you for looking that up though.
Yeah. I've been seeing trailers and stuff for it, and I thought it was interesting.
The marshmallows.
Can I borrow these?
So this character in the first episode too. I mean, if y'all haven't seen it and you want to watch it, go watch it and then come back here and listen to me talk about it. But,
yeah.
The first episode is I was trying to watch it and do something else. I'm notoriously bad for like playing video games and watching television at the same time.
Don't do that.
Because sometimes it's not very visual and it's not very entertaining.
Then don't watch it.
No. I'm paying attention to it, but I'm still playing something else.
I hate that.
I'm ADHD, I guess. I gotta keep something going.
Dude, if you're watching a show, watch the show.
You're right. And this show forces you to watch it because number one, it is beautiful, and number two, like you need all the visual information.
Yeah.
Like there's subtle hints and tells that you can't hear just from the dialogue.
You watched 2 seasons?
Oh yeah.
In the past month?
There's only like 8 or 9 episodes apiece, so it wasn't too bad. But and it sucks you in too. Like you really start to feel these characters and stuff. But it's essentially this. The first episode, it just breaks in. Well, it starts with the dream sequence, but then it just breaks into like we're in a rushed dinner environment for a local restaurant. It's kind of failing and struggling, and you're just like, okay, who is this guy? And he seems like, oh, he's new. You know, you figure out like he's new to the environment, okay. And then you're like, oh, people don't really like him, but he's trying to be kind of uppity, like he's got some kind of chef training or something.
Yeah, like a chip on his shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, people aren't really like accepting him there. But then you figure out, oh, he owns the place, and you're like, oh, okay. So we kind of keep going further and further into it, and eventually you get the story kind of unraveled to you and stuff. But the synopsis basically is that Carmi is the main character, it's Jeremy, and I don't even know his last name's either White or Allen. I'm so bad at the name. He's a phenomenal actor though. Yeah, I think he won like a Golden Globe for his performance. Like he's really good. So anyway, he essentially he is trying to like take this old restaurant that his brother had.
Yeah,
and he's trying to revamp it and turn it into a fancy kind of classy restaurant.
Yeah.
And he had just hired this lady named Sydney.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yes, Jeremy Allen White. Thank you for that. White's the last name, yeah. Wouldn't be a middle name.
Yeah, I guess not. Jeremy White Allen.
But it's a fun name.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So, so you're going through this whole thing, and he just hired this, like, kind of prestigious restaurateur, this chef. Oh, hello.
I was like, why am I on the screen?
Sorry. Anyway, so he just hired this, like, other kind of, like, culinary school lady, and she's kind of...
Claire?
No, this is Sydney.
Okay.
And she's like his kind of rock. Like she's like, okay, I got you. Like I'm from culinary school too, so I got you. Like I can help you with stuff.
This out.
Yeah, exactly. And then so everyone's kind of like crapping on him. Like he's like, I need a pot, and the one lady's like, I've got my pot, and he's like, that's not how a kitchen's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Let me use whatever pot I can. You know?
Yeah.
And so by
I'd
the
start firing people,
dude.
You make fun of me, out of here.
Well,
it's my restaurant.
It's all this emotion too, because like all these people worked with his brother, and they all love his brother and stuff. His brother killed himself.
Oh,
so it's like, ooh, there's kind of a, and like he didn't leave a note. He didn't say anything to anybody.
What was the reason?
What was the reason? So, Richie is kind of like the next main character. He's which I think that actor is going to play the Thing in the new Fantastic Four.
Oh,
potentially. I think there's all rumors and stuff.
Yeah,
but like
I don't think we have. Did you hear they said Pedro Pascal?
Yeah,
we'll talk about that because I don't like that pick.
I don't think I do either.
Can we just talk about it real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So the reason I don't is because like he's like rugged, right? You see him in like as the Mandalorian. You see him in The Last of Us. He's a rugged. Like,
he's also older.
Yeah, and people love him. He's like that daddy kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like my girlfriend loves Pedro Pascal.
I never got that vibe. I'm a straight man, so I never got that vibe.
But she'll be like, if he could choke me out, I would love it. And like Mr. Fantastic is like this nerdy tall white
exactly,
guy. He's like a
exactly.
dorky white guy, you know, like
he's
the
literally
most
like
mayonnaise
a nerd
guy ever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I think Pedro Pascal's just a little too ruggedly good looking.
I think you're right.
play Mr. Fantastic.
Well, I think we need someone more like goofy kind of like the guy who played him in the first ones.
Yeah,
was like awesome.
If Mulaney wasn't so funny, I would say Mulaney.
He looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part. For sure.
Anyway, so season 1 of The Bear just kind of goes, and the first episode is really like stellar in television. It's just like it gives you all this information, but you got to kind of pay attention to what's happening, who's who, and what's happening. He tells one of the chefs in the kitchen like, oh, you need to he's trying to make bread, and he's like, oh, you need to put some water in a tray and let it steam. That'll help it, And so the guy's like, okay, like he doesn't really get it, and he's like from this like kind of dive restaurant, but it's good. People like it. But it's sort of on hard times financially, Restaurants notoriously don't make much money. So then that guy, he kind of sees like, oh, this bread is really moist and it's good. He's like, oh, okay. And then he like at the end of the episode, he's like, yes, chef. He's like, yes, chef.
Oh,
we were at Thanksgiving and we were kind of.
Oh, we kept saying yes. Chef.
Yeah. I didn't want to spoil the bear conversation.
I got you. That's why you were saying it.
So
for real though, it was crazy for y'all. That obviously none of y'all know, but we had a Friendsgiving. It was like Italian themed, and me, Hopper, and my girlfriend were all in one kitchen. She was making chicken parm, I was making lasagna, and he was trying to get everything prepped for like the appetizers.
Yeah, I was summoning Carmi's energy, and I was becoming the bear for the.
There was a dish on every eye of the stove. We had 2 things in the oven.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was chaotic. It was a really
good time.
Yeah.
Good time. So anyway,
happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
You guys had a good Thanksgiving.
We're thankful for you.
Yeah, we are. We're thankful for the viewers and subscribers.
Anyway, so the bear's really good. There's plot threads that keep going. So like, he's kind of like the whole time he's really busy and everyone's it's chaos. Like everything's chaos. He's chopping up onions.
But it works with the restaurant.
Yes, and I think that like the music adds to it. Like the editing is like very choppy sometimes. Yeah. But then they'll give you some nice like drawn out character shots, and it's just like there's a shot where Richie, who's kind of like the antagonist, he's just like a jackass, and like he's like calling people Polish, he's calling people Jewish. Like,
so he's just kind of a racist.
He's kind of a racist. Yeah. He's like it's in Chicago, so he's kind of like a Chicago, like, hey, you Polish asshole. Like, and he acts Italian, but he's not really Italian. You know what I mean? Anyway, so he's like trying to get him this first episode. He's like, you got to make this pasta. You got to make the spaghetti. Like that's the seller. And he's like, the spaghetti doesn't make sense on this menu, so I took it off. He's like, your brother loved that spaghetti. It was this whole back and forth thing.
Dang.
And you sit with him in the car at one point, and he gets a phone call, and you're like, oh, he's getting a divorce, and he has a child, and the child says something on the phone. She's like, do you even love me? And he's like, of course I love you, but you don't get to hear what she's saying. It's just his point of view. And God, he's just, oh man, there's something to him.
The emotion.
There's something to him. Like we like this guy, and he's funny. Like he's the funniest character. So like he's sort of the comedy relief, but he's also like the hardest one to like sway it over into this new idea.
Yeah. He doesn't get his spaghetti.
No. It's like they set up some kind of like.
Is there a theme to the restaurant? Is there a certain food they serve?
It's like sandwiches. Like they sell beef sandwiches. like Chicago sandwich. I don't know. I
thought he wanted it to be like a fine dining.
I was gonna say it's like a Philly thing, but sandwiches are kind of like the root. Like that's kind of what they like. That's what people like from that restaurant. So he wants to keep the sandwich, but he's doing a little bit higher end. Like that first episode, he makes a good sandwich, like with all these really high end ingredients, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like this is good. But they don't want to admit like this is a prissy, like he's too good for us. He's a culinary guy.
Yeah.
But they it's incredible how he like wins them over throughout the thing. There's a character called Tina who in the second season, the first season, like you figure out that Oliver Platt had given Mike a loan for like $300,000 or something crazy.
Oh, to get the business started.
To get a franchise started.
Yeah.
Because the business was doing fine at the time, but and Carm, who's the main character, the bear, his name's Berzotto. Carmen Berzotto. The bear. And they all call each other Bear. So he's a sister, and he calls her Bear.
Yeah.
She calls him Bear. And then
that doesn't get confusing.
No, but like we were just.
That's what I was saying. You should be calling your brother Hopper.
It's sort of like a term of endearment, like okay, Bear.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So, but like he's gonna make the pasta, and then he's just like he looks around, and it's all gross, and he just hates it, so he just throws the pasta can in the trash. And then he's like, and then like you fast forward to the last episode, and there's all these plot lines that kind of connect to the last episode, like him and Sydney are trying to make it more fine dining. They set up like an online ordering thing. Yeah. And it gets way too much, too intense. And there's kind of a memeable scene where he's like, I need 97 chickens. I need 42 sandwiches. I need, 100 cakes. Like, he's just, like, going on.
And they're like, we can't do that.
Everyone's like, we don't have that much food. And he's like, we got to fire it all now, chefs. So he's, like, screaming and going crazy. But
all from online orders?
Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
didn't set it up correctly. Like they didn't set up like where you could only order so much.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was just like everything going. And I think that like they just like at the end of that episode, like 2 of the people walk out. Like two of the staff walk out. They're like, we can't handle this. It's too crazy.
That's wild. That sounds so fun to watch.
I love the show. You've got to see it. Yeah, you've got to see it.
I'm not watching until you watch Loki.
I'll watch Loki.
Okay.
I've been meaning to watch Loki.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I watched this show. I don't know if I mentioned. I watched this show because it's Thanksgiving and it's just food themed.
Oh, that's good.
So it had been on my list for like a long time.
For this theme. You're all about this theme.
I've only got really 2 themed things this week.
Oh, we got Christmas coming up, so I'm sure
rock them up. It'll be Godzilla all next month.
We should do a Christmas movie. Godzilla.
It'll be all Godzilla.
No, it's got to be like Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie.
We could do that. It'd be funny.
I was saying we could do a Christmas special, talk about like Elf and The Grinch. And
yeah.
Pick like three Christmas movies.
All kind of like themed around something like lovable misfits or something. Christmas misfits or something.
We'll workshop it.
So anyway, I like the show a lot. And
did it make you hungry watching the show?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're like, I want to get something.
It would be all these chaotic shots, and the beef is so greasy and gross.
Oh,
at least for the first season. The second season is all about like, okay. So at the end of the first season, they find the suicide note, and yeah. So
why'd he do it?
Well, it didn't say. All it was.
So why are you writing the note?
All it was a recipe for the spaghetti.
Oh my god!
And so Carmen's like, he's all emotional, and he's just like, okay, I'll make the spaghetti. Goes to make it. He's like dumping it out the pot, and he's like, what's in here? And it's like wadded up cash in plastic. And so he's like, what is this? They find the money that Oliver Platt gave him. He was going to franchise it with Carmen. But like there was this whole thing. He didn't let Carmen join the cast of the beef he didn't let him work at the restaurant because
this is blowing my mind.
It's such a good show, dude. But he didn't let him join because he's like, you're better than this. You should go culinary school. He kept saying like, you're not like you don't want to work there. That's gonna drag you down. Like you need to go do your thing. And Carmen.
So he's got $300,000 in cash.
Yeah, or like some amount of that because he threw that first can away. So I don't know.
Oh, he threw the first can away.
So
did the guy who wanted spaghetti know about it?
No, nobody knew.
Oh,
Mike just did that.
Threw away probably half of $300,000.
No. I mean, it was in a ton of cans. Like they had to open up all the cans that they had.
What is
the whole like?
I'm sorry, Mr. Suicide Man, but what the f are you doing?
That's the thing. Is like it doesn't make sense.
Only in a TV show.
Only in a TV show, but at the same time, it said blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Gotta cut that.
No, you gotta keep it.
So at that same point, it's like, well, why did he do anything? If he was planning to franchise with Carmen, why did he kill himself?
And he doesn't ever say?
Well, I don't know. He was
find out in season 2?
No, like you never figure out why he does it. Like,
he said, I'm killing myself, but check the spaghetti cans. There's money in there.
Which I don't like. I guess the guy Oliver Platt, the guy who gives him the money, Uncle Richie or Uncle something. He didn't. He's like an entrepreneur. He has like all this money.
Why didn't he ever talk to him? Hey, did you use that money I sent you?
Well, he thought it was because the restaurant was failing and struggling, which it was. But he was gonna. I mean, Mike, the brother, was gonna use all that money to franchise.
Yeah. But
I don't know. And like I guess it wasn't legal. Like all the money wasn't like super up to date. So like they didn't want to put it in a bank or something. They just put spaghetti sauce cans.
How'd they close the cans back up?
I think he sent it to like a manufacturer or something. Because Carmen at one point was like, "Why are we getting these? They're more expensive than the other ones that we could be getting."
Yeah.
So, and like we get more for the other ones. Like why are we getting these small cans? But he's so busy he didn't have time to like fix it. Like he didn't have time to like. And they never
out of mind. I'm making spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. So like the spaghetti cans just sit in the back room for like the whole season.
That's awesome.
It's such a fun twist. But like Sydney had walked out, like his like co-chef. And she's another big part of the show. She's like,
does she come back?
Yeah. She comes back because she realizes like I want to invest into this and I want to put some. Like she had started her own like catering businesses. They all failed because she built too quickly and didn't have enough staff to help. So that's her whole thing. And then she kind of came back later after she had messed up with the iPad stuff.
Yeah.
And like she walks in and they're all just like, and the Richie kind of gave her a hard time because she's all fancy culinary too. So he just sees her and he had given her the most like the whole time, but he's like, "Hey, grab a can opener. We're finding money here." And she's just like, "Okay." And then all her and Carmen look at each other like, "Family style restaurant?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Chaos menu?" "Yeah." "Okay." And then it's like, we're making a new restaurant. Yeah. Then he writes out, he's like, "The beef is closed. The bear is coming." And he slaps it up on the window.
Oh.
And so the next whole season is basically them building the restaurant.
That's the trailers I've been saying.
Yeah.
Not saying.
It's great.
What's for season 2, I guess.
They're building a restaurant called The Bear, and this one he meets Claire. Thank you. And she's gorgeous. She's perfect. Everyone loves her. She's like, she has no faults. She's like a perfect woman, and she's in love with Carmi. Like they had dated in high school or maybe early college or something. I think it's high school.
Yeah.
And he sees her in like a grocery store. He gives her a fake number, and you're like, Carmen, what are you doing? And so
there's gonna be a whole elaborate check the spaghetti cans.
Kind of. I mean,
no, it's like, not.
This
dude.
Well, no, not really.
Okay,
but this is the plot thread for his character. His character is like, because he's so focused and he's lasered in, and like the whole season, Sydney is telling him like, we need someone to come fix the door for the refrigerator.
Yeah,
and he's so busy, and he's torn between girlfriend, and he's torn between work, and he's got all this stuff going on, and that he can't really get to it. Mm-hmm. So at the very end of the season. Spoiler again, it just came out, but he like he tries to open the walk-in refrigerator, and he goes inside and he gets something, but the door's locked, it's closed because he didn't call someone. He never called someone. They had just opened the first day, and so Sydney's whole thing, the whole season was like, okay, I need to. I don't think I'm good enough. Like I need Carmen there with me to help. She's like the official like head of the kitchen, but he's the chef. You know, he makes the stuff, and they're kind of partners. So he wants her to have more faith in herself. But he gets locked in a refrigerator for the first opening night, so he can't do anything. He's just stuck in there, beating the wall. He's like throwing stuff around.
They know he's in it?
Yeah, they can hear him in there, but they're like, what's happening? And he's like, I never called the guy to get the refrigerator fixed, so now I'm stuck in here. so Sydney's like forced to step up, and then Richie at that point is forced to step up and like call out orders and stuff, like do what the chef would do. So all the characters kind of learn, and like while they're building the restaurant, like he sends off different characters to different stuff. Like Tina, they want her to be the sous chef, and it's a really beautiful moment where he's like, grab my knife, and you'll go to culinary school, like because
nice.
There's nothing for them to do while they're building the restaurant. So he's like, you only just get better, like keep repeating. And she was some crappy chef at a crappy diner, you know what I mean? So like her character really,
House.
yeah. Well, the beef is kind of like a gross, grungy Waffle House almost, but. They invest into her, and she's really appreciative. She gets like so like happy, like she's just like, and she's like, chef, I forgot to give you your knife back. He's like, it's your knife now. He's like, I never asked for it back.
Oh, it's like this whole emotional thing.
It's like a sweet moment, and Sydney's like, I need a sous chef, and then she goes, and Tina walks out, and she goes, oh, Tina, and she comes back. Can you be my sous chef? It's like this sweet moment,
dude. I'm telling you, and that's the thing. Like, we're big nerds, so we watch a lot of like anime, and Euro stuff, and like action. And it's so nice to just sit down and watch something like that.
Yeah,
it's just different.
It's just like a sweet,
it's such a good like film, or
right?
Show,
right.
Know?
It's like a small story. Like it's the whole thing is just this restaurant, whether it fails or like So
and that's always been our gripe is like everyone hates on superhero. Oh, that's not film. We talk about that all the time. Broaden your horizon. Watch everything.
Watch more stuff. Exactly,
dude. It's all good.
The show was so good it made me want to start making like video essays again.
Yeah,
it like inspired me because they were looking for inspiration for the menu and stuff. I'm like, I'm inspired.
I'm getting hungry. Literally thinking about it.
We're about to go eat Mexican, not Italian or whatever they're making.
I'm wanting a sandwich now.
So the ending, like Claire comes to the restaurant for the opening day. It's friends and family, so like no one's paying. Everything's like we're checking it out. You know what I mean,
bro?
And so his girlfriend comes and she's just like, "Where's Carmen? I haven't seen him all day. He's locked in the fridge." And so, but like she had wondered like, why did he give me a fake number? And then like after that, they kind of get to know each other and they have more of a bonding thing, and they're dating essentially. They are dating. This whole thing is like, what do I call her? Is she my girlfriend? Do you ask her? Is she my girlfriend? But then she goes in there and like he was talking to Tina, the sous chef, and then she goes off to put out some fire or something. Yeah. And he's just like talking to the wall at this point, but he's in the fridge, and he's like, the reason I'm so good at this is because I never had any family attachments. I never like bother with anything but work, and it's all this stuff. Like he's looking around the walk-in, like there's stuff's messy, and like it's like it's supposed to be his new classy restaurant, but there's like some of the things, some of the labels are peeled off a little bit, and he's just like. He's like, I missed some of the details because I was busy with my girlfriend. Yeah. I shouldn't do that. I will not do that anymore. I'm going to put my 100% of my focus into this. But Claire's like outside the fridge listening to him.
Oh, no.
Because she...
that's bad.
That's bad. And she just walks out and she's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. And she starts crying and she just leaves. And it's like,
And it ends like that?
That's how it ends.
No, dude.
But like you see a couple episodes before that, there's a holiday special which takes place like 4 or 5 years earlier or something. Mm-hmm. And it's just inundated with celebrity cameos. Bob Odenkirk, who's Better Call Saul. Yeah. He's like the dad or he's the uncle or something. He's like one of the older, family members. Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story's in it. She's married to John Mulaney, who's in it. Jamie Lee Curtis is the mom.
Oh my god.
She's like a ticking time bomb. It's like the best performance of her life. I swear to God. Like that episode starts and they're like outside. It's Carmen, his sister, and Mike, the dead brother. Yeah. And they're like, oh man.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
She's Halloween, Freaky Friday.
Oh, I thought that's who it was.
Now notice I said Freaky Friday, and he knew exactly the I was talking about. You need to stop that.
Why is that a bad thing?
Oh, she was in Everything All at Once too recently.
Oh, was she? I didn't watch that movie.
It's
heard
pretty
it's
good.
really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
I said Jamie Lee Curtis. I literally in my head was like, Freaky Friday. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Freaky Friday. You know what else I know her from? The yogurt commercials online all the time.
I almost said from the shitty yogurt, from the shit yogurt commercials. You know her.
Oh,
I've never thought
dog.
I've never thought she was that amazing of an actress, but in this episode, she's kicked it up, dude.
Yeah, she was like, "This is my swan song."
Yes, exactly. And they kind of like they give you that chaos of a restaurant, but it's at a family like Christmas dinner. You know what I mean?
Was it on a Friday?
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so there's all this like family drama going on, but like so many just like Gillian Jacobs is Richie's.
That's Nebula.
Yes.
She hot.
Nebula. From what?
Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, that's Karen Gillan.
Oh, Gillan. I got the Gillan.
The Gillan.
Yeah.
Gillian Jacobs voices Adam Eve on Invincible. She's on Community. Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah. She's the blonde haired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Britta.
She's Adam Eve?
Yeah. I think
didn't
so.
know that, dude.
No, I think so.
I'm Googling it.
You should Google it, yeah.
Yes. Gillian Jacobs.
Okay. So she's been in a lot of stuff.
Did you know Jason Mantzoukas is Rexplode?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day. I said, that's awesome.
I don't get how you can't, like, these people have super recognizable voices.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
get
the
them.
thing is, that's what's really cool about Amazon is that they show that X-ray and they show the people in that
do
scene.
like that.
I love that because I'm like, I know that voice from somewhere.
Yeah.
And instead of having to pull my phone out, I just press up on the thing and it shows them. I'm like, yes.
Sterling K. Brown was the guy with the big brain thing.
Oh yeah, he's played in a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I just can't tell you what.
He's
I know he's in
he's Black Panther's. He's Michael B. Jordan's dad.
Yeah.
Black
He's
Panther.
also in Supernatural. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, probably.
As an angel.
I watched that show This Is Us for a couple seasons.
Yeah,
he's really good in that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved that show for the first couple seasons.
Wait till you see what happens in Invincible with that guy. I've read the comics, so
okay.
It's pretty cool.
Anyway, so there's like a ticking time bomb the whole time. It's just like Jamie Lee Curtis is in the kitchen. She's like, no one makes anything for me. She's smoking. She's getting drunk, dude. It's so and Carmen's in there helping
Jamie
her.
Lee Curtis, dude.
She, like I never thought she was amazing, but like this episode she really shines.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's like this whole business going on, and it ends up with like it's like personal drama. Like, okay, we're gonna go into this scene. These two people are talking, and it's that's gonna lead to this, and then all this family drama going on. But like underneath it, like all these like little pressure cooker time clocks. Like you twist it, and all this stuff's happening, and like you can just feel Jamie Lee Curtis is like picking up. Like the mom is like, oh, I'm getting pissed. Like no one's helping me. Carmen's the only one there helping her because he's a chef.
Yeah.
And like people come in the kitchen to come help because she's screaming and upset, but then she tells them to get the fuck out. You gotta get out of here. We're cooking in here. And then there's this whole thing like it's like a 7-fish dinner. Like there's like a biblical thing or something.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And it's Catholic, so they can't eat like anything baked in like they can't eat like meat or meat
just
from
fish, just fish and bread.
Which fish is meat, but whatever. It's whatever.
Living near the Mediterranean, you can't take fish out of your diet.
I guess so.
Name me one religion that says you can't eat fish, and they're right by the ocean.
Yeah, fish are okay. Anyway, so the episode culminates to like Mike and Bob Odenkirk.
Mm-hmm.
So John Bernthal and Bob Odenkirk are just arguing about nothing. Like he's just like Bob Odenkirk's like, you're nothing. You're starting all these businesses. You're nothing.
Yeah.
This is the brother that killed himself, so it holds a lot of weight to it here. And he just starts throwing forks at him. He throws 2 forks at him, and he's like, throw that fork. You throw the third fork. You throw a third fork. See if I don't break your face. Like
I love John Bernthal, dude.
Dude, John Bernthal. And then Bob Odenkirk really steps up, too. Like,
really?
he started his career as a comedian. He's, like, giving this amazing dramatic performance.
Yeah.
And then, like,
FX has got some good, like, gritty shows.
They really do have some good stuff. Anyway, so the last bit of this, and that holiday episode, I mean, I've cried several times during that show. Because
really?
It was so, like, depthful and emotional. Yeah. Yeah. But so Jamie Lee Curtis like comes in finally, and like in the beginning of the episode, they tell the sister like, don't ask her if she's okay. Like that will set her off.
Yeah.
But she keeps asking her, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like she's needs
to.
She's trying to like mother her own mom kind of. Like she's just trying to like get something.
So
out
she
of
comes in the final episode when he's locked in the fridge.
No.
Oh,
they invite the mom, and it all kind of ties in. But the mom like comes in, she gets pissed, she throws a tantrum, she goes and she gets in her car to like drive away. And this and then John Bernthal throws the last fork in this. So they start fighting and everything. And she wrecks her car into the house, like the last bit of it. So it's like, oh my God.
Does she live?
Yeah, she's alive.
Oh, okay.
But she just wrecks her car in the house. She had been drinking the whole night. It's, it's crazy.
God,
it was bad. And then so that all that kind of stuff sets up the family dynamic of Carmi and his whole past. The whole season really is about his past because he sends Tina to culinary school. He sends Marcus, one of my favorite characters, sweet guy. He's just trying to bake his stuff.
He's just a baker.
He's a baker. He's like he's a creative
Zeke
guy.
High School Musical.
Kinda, I guess.
Zeke bakes. He's like, oh, I'm baking.
And then Richie goes to like the most like the restaurant that Carmen worked at in New York. So he's like, he's in there. They're making him shine forks, and he gets all pissed about it. He's like, why am I just shining forks? I'm wasting time. He's like, no, everything's got to start with the fork because it's the first thing they see when they, you know. So it's this whole respect thing, and he figures it out. So Richie kind of comes along too, and then whenever he says that about Claire at the last episode, Richie's like, "What are you doing, Donna?" He calls him his mom's name. Yeah, and it's like, "What? What did you say? What did you just call me?" And so he's all pissed off, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't let yourself have anything good, you know, because that's how the mom is. Like she just got to self-sabotage. She has to ruin everything." And so that's sort of where we get at, where like he's sort of fallen into the steps of his mom. And dude, man, that last episode had me.
When's the next season coming out?
I think next year.
Yeah,
but
so they're looking like they're doing a year.
I think it probably got halted by the writer's strike, but this is the show where I was thinking about too. I'm like, y'all need to thank the writers because this show was really well written.
It's like when you let the writers do their job. Yeah, perfect. I want to go watch it right now.
It's great. I would recommend it to anybody who likes good content.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't watch it though. I'll eat so much food watching that show. Like even thinking about it, you know.
Well, it's sort of like high end food. It's stuff that I wouldn't be able to make. It's like bougie, like 3-star food.
I'd try.
I would try too, but I couldn't.
No, I'd just go eat it somewhere.
Okay.
I wouldn't even try to make
This is that expensive food, though.
Yeah, I'd just go get sandwiches.
Okay.
Sandwiches. Dude.
Eating a honey bun, like, watching them make like
I ain't
4-star.
no honey bun, dude. I'm eating a greasy Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
That first season, I swear you crave it all. Like the first like greasy sandwichy bits.
So good.
Anyway, what's the next thing
so
you watched?
Bear though, 10 out of 10?
I would give it at least an 8 or 9. Like I've
solid.
I solid. It was solid. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it straight through. I mean, I didn't, and it wasn't something I watched while I was playing anything. Like I say I do. I just sat down and watched it. Like it was, it deserves attention. You know what I
mean? So with me, other show I watched, I was gonna watch it by myself. My girlfriend ended up like she was playing the Switch, and I was like, I'm turning this on, and then she ended up just watching it with me. But it was Reacher from Amazon, which I'd watched one of the Jack Reacher films with Tom Cruise. I wasn't really a fan of Tom Cruise as Reacher because if you read like the content and stuff, the book it's based off and stuff, the guy's big, he's muscled, he's like this, and Tom Cruise is cool, but I've always been weirded out by like shirtless Tom Cruise scenes. Because if you ever look at, he's older now, and he's got this weird like concave thing going on. You know, it's just weird. Yeah. So I didn't like him as Reacher. This one's played by Alan Richardson, something like that. He was Hawk on Titans, if anyone watched that. He played in the new Fast and Furious movie. He was also Raphael in the new TMNT movies, the like CGI ones with Megan Fox.
Oh, the Babers.
Yeah. If he was in anything else that is way more notable, I'm sorry. I don't know. Great actor. He got juiced for this. He was always a bigger guy. He's like 6'5", but he got ripped for this. Fun fact, for season 2 that's coming out, he just put on more weight.
Wait, wasn't John Krasinski a Reacher?
No, that's Jack Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Not Jack Reacher. We had this conversation.
Like those types of shows and like first-person shooters just all blend in my head. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, Modern Warfare. And I'm looking at, like, Halo or something. Like, I have no clue.
You look at Yu-Gi-Oh! You're like, oh, that's the Pokemans.
Now, the Digimon are different than the Pokemon.
Is that Bakugan?
Somebody's confused, but he knows every single one of them.
He's just doing it. He's got the spirit.
Now, this is Dragon Quest Creature Crafter.
This is Dragon Ball Z.
I think this is Ooblets. Are you playing Ooblets?
So phenomenal actor, but they asked him, they said, why'd you put on more weight for the season 2? He's like, why not? We got a trainer. He put on like 15 more pounds of muscle.
Nice.
Huge. And you can tell if you go watch if you watch Reacher and then you go watch like the new Fast and Furious movie, he's got a little part in it, but he's huge. His shoulders, dude, they just go on forever. But so he's like this guy, he was in the military army and he was part of an investigative unit. You know, they went and investigated. He was like a detective type thing. And it's so cool because he's like a buff American Sherlock Holmes. That's the whole vibe you give him. He's huge. He can win a fight. He can shoot a gun, and he's also Sherlock Holmes. Everything he's
like a good detective, basically.
Yeah. A lot of the times he's like in an investigation. This is what he says all the time: details matter. Details matter. So he gets a pension now, and he's basically a hobo. Calls himself a hobo. He just goes where he's like a drifter though. He just goes where the wind takes him.
Oh, I love that concept. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he's in Miami at some dive bar, and he hears this blues guy singing, and he goes, "Oh, that guy's from Margrave, Georgia. Let me go to Margrave." Goes to Margrave. The bus drops him off like 2 miles outside of the town, and he just walks it. Gets in there, and that's another running theme is the whole theme. He's trying to get this famous peach pie from this diner. 4 or 5 times he tries to get this peach pie from this diner throughout this show. Never gets it. Finally gets on the last episode, and he's like, I've had better. I've really had
Damn it,
better.
Reacher.
But he's framed for this murder that just happened, uncovers this
he gets framed for a murder.
Day 1.
Oh, wow.
Turns out the guy that was murdered was his brother.
Oh.
His brother was in there.
That makes sense that he's a suspect.
He uncovers an entire scheme of money laundering where the people there were like what they did was they take old money, they'd bleach it, and then they'd print new money. So because they said the hardest thing about making new money or making counterfeit money is the paper. Because there's only one place in all of the U.S. His brother was part of Secret Service, and he made it to where only one place had the patent to make American money.
Interesting.
And so, like, how are they getting the paper? And he realized it, and he was like, they're bleaching over the money and putting the new print on top of it. It's crazy.
So they're using like $1 to make $100 or something?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then they would like crumple it up, make it look old and stuff, and then they would ship it out in boxes for like AC units and stuff. Crazy conspiracy, crazy thing. He's fighting like Brazilians the whole time because a lot of the buyers are out of the country kind of thing, you know? They want their money for like drugs and guns and stuff. And the whole time he's doing this, and there's this whole bit where it's like there's a lot of animal feed. What's going on with that? I thought that's how they were moving the money. Oh, that's full of money.
Like in the butts or whatever.
And they're like, give it up. The guy has cows. He just gets animal feed. He's like, it's a whole semi of animal feed. Like, makes no sense.
Too much food.
Right. The chemicals they use to bleach it they were doing this operation in a different place, and the chemical runoff into the water ruined the town. So to stop that, they were using animal feed to absorb the chemical runoff so that it wouldn't go into the water. And he had just enough cows that he didn't have to be inspected, but it wouldn't raise any concerns, the bad guy, about having animal feed. So the whole time he's talking about animal feed, they bring it up every episode or so. And the chick that's with him, it's like this black old school detective from like Harvard, and he's down in Georgia now, and everyone's like, what are you doing down here? You're a well-dressed, respectable man in like a racist part of the country. You know, what are you doing down here? This girl cop who ends up becoming a love interest, obviously, and then Jack Reacher. And he'd be like, about that feed, and the girl cop was like, if you bring up that feed again, I will shoot you. I will shoot you in the dick if you say something about that feed again. And it's so funny, Des, you know, she cracks me up when it talks about like, we know the problem with like strong female leads and stuff. You know, they don't usually work because they're not written well. You know, so he comes in to get booked in the first episode, and he's not talking. Like the first 20 minutes of the show, he does not talk.
Wow.
He's just like observing things and whatnot. And she goes, Prince, and he just looks at her, and she goes, either you can give me your prince willingly, or I can beat your ass and hold your fingers as you're knocked unconscious. This guy is 6'5", 250 pounds of pure muscle. She's like 5'3" at best.
Like a chihuahua.
Yeah. And Des instantly is like, ew, I don't like her. She goes, I bet they're going to fuck later, too. And
called it.
Yeah, so they take him like, and another funny thing, too. The first episode's so good. It really draws you in and makes you want to watch the rest of the show. Des was like half watching it. Every other episode she watched. Like I couldn't watch it by myself anymore. I was having to watch it with her. But they go to jail, him and this guy, and you know, the jail people are like, you know, you're gonna be my bitch now, talking about the other guy. Not Jack Reacher, but the other guy. He's like, give me your glasses. So the guy gives him his glasses, and he goes, and one more thing, and Des is playing the switch. She's like playing as if she's the guy. He's like, you're gonna suck my dick. And then she looks up, and the guy pulls his pants down, and she just screams. She's like, oh my God, he's actually doing that. And Jack Reacher gets down from the top bunk. He's like, you're not doing this. This is my cell. This is my prison. You got to the count of 3 to get out of my cell. So he goes 1, 2. At 2, grabs the guy and just starts elbowing him in the face, and then punches him against the wall and knocks him out. And Des just screams again. She's like, she loves The Punisher. It's one of her favorite shows. She's like, I just love the raw violence. And she's like this sweet person. Yeah. And then she's just like, ooh, like one time the Punisher like curb stomped somebody, and she just started laughing. And I'm like, I'm scared. Yeah. You know?
I don't know who this person is.
After that, she was hooked. Yeah. So she was watching Reacher with me. It's a great show. Like I said, if you like detective work, if you like a buddy cop series, it's so good. And he's just
season
so
2
smart.
potential, or is it?
Yeah, season 2 comes out December 15th.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's already coming out.
Cool.
And this one's about his investigative unit. It looks like his old crew were getting killed one by one kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. More money conspiracy.
Yeah, probably. But it's so wild. Like every twist and turn, you think you figured out what happens, and then it throws another. And then like the Venezuelans and the main like bad guy, their MO, if you betrayed them or they wanted to send a message, they'd literally nail you to a wall. Cut your scrotum off, feed it to you, and then they would find you like that.
It's pretty bad.
That's wild, dude. They found 3 bodies like that.
Can't think of any worse ways to die.
For real. Yeah. Well, there was one where the guy and girl were being tortured. Well, the guy was having to watch his wife get tortured, and then they killed him. And there were mirrors all around, and they taped his eyes open.
Oh,
crazy stuff, dude.
Yeah.
But the show is so good. It's so good. It's got the action. It's got like there's a part where he knows he's being followed by some hired killers, you know. So he like does this whole elaborate thing. He jumps out of the moving car and he's hiding in the grass, and they come up and he shoots them in the back. They're dead. I love it because he's got this massive freaking Desert Eagle gun. It's huge. He puts them in the trunk. They won't fit because there's already a dead body that they've killed in their trunk. He has to literally break their legs and fold them like pretzels into the trunk. Oh my god! And the girl like opens it later and he's like, they wouldn't fit. And like awful. He's very to the point. She goes, "You said you shot them because they were firing at you, but it turns out he shot him in the back. You know, like he was like, oh, I lied. I told you what you needed to hear because if I told you anything else, you would not be okay with it. Wow. But I needed to kill them." And she was just like, "Oh my god, he killed so many people. It was awesome. Yeah, it was so good. The final scene at the end is great. Like, it's perfect. It's got like
the Homelander thing. It's perfect. Every last detail.
It's just so good, dude. Like the mystery. Every time you think you've cracked it, you're like, okay, he's the killer. Yeah. It's like, oh no, something else is going on, kind of thing. Yeah. It's awesome. The characters, like there's 8 episodes. Okay. I like 8 episodes. If they're long, like hour-long episodes, I think 8 is a good one.
I'm fine with that because I really like having the option of, you know, getting to know these characters more. Because like a movie, like a 2-hour movie, you get to know your characters, but not like a full in-depth thing like this is, you know.
And that's the thing too. I'd probably go for 12 if none of it's filler. Yeah. If there's any filler though, cut it down. We don't need filler. If you're doing short, because you can do
filler in like 30-minute kind of like 20 episode pieces or whatever.
And I don't like 20 episode if half of it's filler.
Fine with it. If it's like Adventure Time where it's like it's entertaining regardless.
Yeah, that's different. You know what I mean? But like we talk about the CW shows. 22 episodes. There doesn't need to be that many.
There doesn't need to be that many. Yeah, no,
cut them. They could totally do 8. Cut out. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, really good. I would recommend it. I don't think it's as good as Loki, but it's a solid show. It's a completely different genre though too. So if you guys are interested, I would highly recommend Reacher.
It's good to watch like a kind of a drama, action like mystery. Yeah, almost. Yeah,
like it was like a little bit thriller detective. Yeah. Buddy cop. I love buddy cops, dude. I love buddy cop stuff.
We're about to watch the Rush Hour movies.
Yes,
I cannot wait.
Oh, I cannot wait for that, dude. They're so good. We need to watch the Shanghai ones too.
Shanghai Moon and Shanghai Nights.
Yeah, and yeah. There's 3 of those too, aren't there?
Maybe. I know there's
Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan.
That's about anything. Honestly, anything with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Put more stuff. I
love
please.
Jackie Chan.
There was news
He's
recently.
Getting a little old now. I don't know what else he could be in.
There was news recently that they're gonna do a like a Daniel Russo Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
Oh.
So it's like
wasn't he in the last Karate Kid?
He was like, well, no, it'll be like Karate Kid, like Prime. You could call it like the first Karate Kid, and then Miyagi from the second one, like from the Jaden Smith one.
Oh,
so I don't know what the deal is, but I don't think there's multiversal stuff, but like maybe
that'll be weird. But
that'd be weird.
Yeah,
they could do something. I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, I would recommend Reacher. It was really good. We finished in like a week.
Nice.
But yeah, those are my series I watched this month. What do you got? Any movies?
I just watched Leo last night. We can talk about that a little bit. I hadn't planned to talk about it.
Leo.
It's Adam Sandler as a lizard.
Oh, was it good?
I liked it.
I was gonna watch it. I know you made fun of me for saying I was gonna watch it, and you watched it first.
There's one scene in this movie that makes it all worthwhile,
Is
and
it really?
I'll lead up to it. It's an Adam Sandler thing. There's a little too many like pop culture references where he's like. He's telling one kid, you got a great voice like so and so, and he's like, oh, I don't know, like The Weeknd. Oh, I know The Weeknd. Like it's just one of those things. But Adam Sandler does good. I mean, he's a very.
I love Adam
Sandler. There was never a point where I'm like, I'm watching Leo the lizard. I'm watching. It was like
I'm watching Adam Sandler as a lizard.
Right. I was watching it. I'm like Adam. Like I was calling the character Adam. The good Vine reference.
This is why mom doesn't love you.
Yeah. But he's the premise is he's a class pet.
Yeah.
That He's a class pet in a 5th grade classroom,
and he just wants to live though.
Well, he thinks he's about to die because someone told him that lizards only live to 75 years. So he's like, I'm 74, I'm about to die, I'm Adam Sandler.
Pause for a second. I did hate. They pretty much gave you the whole movie in those trailers.
Oh yeah,
because I know the entire movie.
Yeah, you know the plot.
Like, I saw one trailer. I know what the whole movie's about.
Well, the teacher of the classroom goes on maternity leave, so they get this really cranky old substitute lady.
Yeah.
And everyone hates her. Like, all the parents are like, we don't like you. You're being mean to the kids. Like, all this stuff. And she said, y'all got to learn respect. You're going to take one of these class pets. Also, the turtle in it is voiced by Bill Burr.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I don't know how they got Bill Burr to do that.
I love Bill Burr.
But he is a total standout.
Yeah.
You know, he's just funny. And him as a turtle is like really a good time.
I was like, I've always thought, like, oh, I'd love to get Bill Burr on here, but then I'm always scared.
No, I would never want to talk to Bill Burr in this capacity.
I'm saying, like, because he'd be like, what the fuck kind of movie is that?
Right. I would want to, like, talk to him, like, for 5 minutes after he did, like, a comedy special. Like,
yeah, when he's warmed up.
Great set, sir. I love you. Goodbye. Like, I would never want to.
He's so uncomfortable about, man. You know?
He's so intimidating. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Dude, watching other people try to talk to him, I'm just like, I love him, but I'm going to watch from afar.
Sometimes, like, and he has that reputation.
Stage presence, yeah.
Right. He has the reputation of being an a-hole, so, like, he can be an a-hole. Like, no one gets mad. It's like, you should have been more prepared for Bill Burr.
Yeah, like, it's your fault. It's your fault.
Love Bill Burr.
Oh, he's awesome, dude.
But he works really great as this, like, grumpy turtle guy.
Yeah.
And Leo is the lizard. He has to.
How did they convince him to do that?
I don't have a clue. I think he's got kids, so it's probably like, my kids want to see a movie. They want to see a fun movie. It's on Netflix. It doesn't cost anything to watch it. I'll put it on Netflix.
If it does, he could buy Netflix.
Yeah, he probably could.
Loaded.
So Adam Sandler, like, he's trying to leave via the kids. He's trying to get out and live his life because he thinks he's about to die.
He kept trying to run away, but he's like too slow and old.
Yeah, there's like a whole scene where this girl's like eating dinner and she's talking to her parents and like everything, and he's just, it's like several hours go by, but he's like only made it like across the wall basically. I will say the animation's kind of bad. It's like lower than like Illumination almost.
Yeah,
like you can tell it was kind of rushed through. Yeah. Like it looks a little bit like Cocomelon on YouTube, you know, like every so often. But then they animate like the kindergarten kids, because these are the 5th graders, like the kids we focus on. But there's like kindergarten kids who just like run around. They're all ADHD and they're crazy, and they animate them really funny. Like they're on like 2s or something. They're just like bow, 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 like just, like jumping around. So Leo starts talking to the kids, which I think is also in the trailer.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like where you kind of suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
It's like the animals can talk to each other.
Yeah.
But can they talk? Like, why are they talking to people? I don't know. Anyway, but he's trying to do like an ET thing where he's like, you only can hear me because you're special. And he says it to every kid. And they call him out on it eventually. Yeah. Like the turtle takes a video of him like talking to like 6 different kids.
The turtle's sabotaging?
Because the turtle's jealous. He's like, I want people to like me.
Turtle's sabotaging.
Anyway.
Never mind, continue.
But it's kind of a sweet thing because he's got experience. He's lived in a classroom for 74 years, so he knows like, oh, okay, you're this stereotype, and you need to just realize that you're not that great. Like
don't be talking about stereotypes.
Well, he's like, you're the popular kid, so you need to realize your crap smells too. Like he's like, he says something. He's like, you're not, like, he sings this whole song. He's like, you're not that great.
Wait, Adam Sandler does a musical number?
Yes. He's got a background.
If you like this and you don't like Jack and Jill.
This is better than Jack and Jill. Also, this is made for like infants, so it's fine.
So was Jack and Jill.
No, that wasn't like fart and sex jokes in it.
How'd they get Al Pacino to go do that?
Money. They must have paid him a ton of money. That movie had so much product placement, they probably could do, like, they probably had a budget for whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nick Swartzen was like his helper, pretty sure. He kept making like Jewish jokes, and he's like, man, you really don't like your job. Like,
I remember that.
You watched
From Jack and Jill. I've seen Jack and Jill.
Let's go.
So I know it's terrible.
How many times?
18. I should really just like dissect Jack and Jill and make a video essay about how bad it is. Like,
shut up.
This is what makes it the worst. Anyway, so Leo's fun. I mean, like the teacher thinks that she's doing well, the old cranky teacher.
Yeah.
But it turns out the lizard's giving them advice and making them better, well-rounded kids.
Yeah.
And so they win this trip to like a Six Flags type place. And the teacher takes him to like the Everglades because that was his whole thing. He's like, I want to see the Everglades before I die. And she takes him out there, and of course it's like a terrible jungle. Like it's all these animals.
Does it turn out plot twist that he's not old at all?
The plot twist is that lizards can live longer than 75 years old, so he's not about to die. he meets some lizards in the Everglades, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm 102 or something." He's like, "Oh, okay." So
I got Wow.
It all just kind of, but like, yeah, I don't know.
It's just a fun standalone movie.
It's it's fun for, if you got kids, I'm sure they'd like it. It's kind of like life. It kind of makes you, like, it hits you a little bit in the feels because he's like, I haven't done anything with my life. Yeah. Like, I've been sitting here, I just haven't done anything with my life.
I was gonna say it's something you just turn on for like kids to watch, and I have to bring this up. We were at Thanksgiving and Des was cooking and stuff, and she's like, "We've got music playing in the kitchen." She's like, "I gotta turn something on TV," and I was like, "You've got music playing."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'll just mute the TV." So I sit down. Here's the problem: I will watch what you put on.
Yeah,
you put it on the TV, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I just like watching TV. She turns on Lucas the Spider. Okay. It's muted. I said, "Babe, I can't hear this movie." She goes, "You're not supposed to watch it. It's a kitchen." I don't care. It's on the TV. So she turns on like Hoarders and turns on subtitles. I looked at her and said, "If you don't press play and press the volume on this, I'm going to lose my mind right now." So she like tells Google to turn the music down and then unmutes. I was like, it was like stressing me. I was like, thank God. She's like, "What is your problem?" I was like, "You don't put someone on TV and then not be able to hear shit. It's just background noise or like background stuff." I was like, "No, you want that? We'll turn Spotify on the TV and you can see that as the music. Sure. Don't put on a TV show and then mute it, okay?" Oh,
how dare you?
Got me heated.
That's really funny.
I was just like, I told her, I said, "If you can turn the volume on, I'm going to lose my shit."
There was a similar situation. I went to a house party in college, and it was one of my first house parties, so I didn't really know how to act. That was kind of weird. Yeah. I don't drink, so I'm like, I don't really fit in.
So
here.
What are you even doing?
Right. I was trying to talk to people, but they were kind of like,
yeah, you don't talk to people.
They were drunk. Yeah, they didn't want to talk. And so I was just sitting down, and they had like a show on. I remember it was some like TV show. I don't think it was. It was Caitlin Olsen's show, the Mick. You remember the Mick?
Oh yeah.
I was sitting there trying to watch it, and I'm just like, I can't hear.
They're like rich dads in jail and stuff.
Yeah, and they're taking care. She's like a babysitter for the kids. Yeah. I was trying to. It was episode 1. And I was like, I can't hear what they're saying. And I was like, there's like rap music blasting around me. I'm like, what do? I gotta get this TV.
Can you
to
turn this
on.
up?
I literally was like, okay, where's the remote? I'm trying to listen to this show. It was so uncomfortable.
Oh.
It was so
That's awesome. The word to the wise: if you turn on TV,
turn it on the volume, or at least put on the subtitles. Very least.
No, she turned on the subtitles, and I was losing my mind. I was losing it.
I'm not reading my show.
I'm okay with subtitles. I want to hear it, dude. No. Oh, the TV's on. Let me watch it.
Anyway, did you watch that Lin-Manuel Miranda Netflix thing?
I did not.
It was like a honey bear.
No, I didn't.
I'm talking about that at least.
No. The last thing I know about him was the Heights.
I think it came out before that. It was like the
Hispanic Romeo and Juliet.
Vivo, the capybara. It wasn't it was a Kinkajou.
I have no idea what you're talking
Vivo
about.
the Kinkajou. This is a Netflix movie too. It looked like the animation looked like that, and it was also that type of quality.
Yeah. And
the music in both of them were not very good.
There were more than one musical number in Leo?
Oh, Leo is like half musical. But what pissed me off about Leo's musical, and I'm ripping apart like a thing made for preschoolers.
Yeah. We understand that.
I understand. But the thing that made me mad about it was like they wouldn't commit to a full song. Like, you know in what's the movie where like they start singing and the guy's like, I don't sing, and the song's just over.
Oh, it's in Frozen, right? Like Kristoff doesn't sing.
Maybe, but he sings that. But you know the vibe I'm talking about.
Better than people.
If it is Frozen, like Frozen commits to 90% of the songs.
Yeah.
This movie, it was like, okay, we're gonna sing a little bit, and then we're instantly making fun of the fact that we're singing. Isn't that goofy? Why are we singing?
We're so cringy.
We're so cringy, and then it would be like, okay, Adam Sandler.
Can't help being a Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
Oh,
full circle.
Let's go. I didn't even mean that.
Anyway, so that's one of my.
I'm a comedic genius.
You are very funny, and you don't even realize it.
Damn.
So that's one of my big complaints about the movie. But the whole movie.
Why did you watch it?
It was put it on. I don't know. My mom has been watching.
See, that's the problem with us is people just put something on as background. They're on their phone.
I can't.
We watch it. We're watching it. I can't tell you how many movies I've seen just because someone's like, "Oh, I'll just put this on," and
I was cooking, so I was like, let me just put something on. Because Mom had been watching The Great British Bake Off all day, and it finally ran out. So I'm like, well, what is this on
Des
Netflix?
has been watching that. Have you copped up with it yet?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He likes it.
Pretty good. I think they're almost over.
They got rid of the bald guy.
Oh, Matt Lucas?
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
I think him and Noel Felding were like the perfect combo.
Yeah,
this new lady's fine, though. She does.
Yeah, but she's not the bald guy.
Matt Lucas?
Let's see if she's like him.
Okay.
Yeah. That's honestly if you watch it, like if it's on, I'll watch it kind of thing. I went to my mom's Thanksgiving one year, and they had on the all-girl cast Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
And I started watching, and I was like, this is so stupid, I'm not getting trapped. I walked in the kitchen, and I just sat away from the TV. I was like, I will watch it, and I'm going to hate myself for watching it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to watch it eventually when we do our Ghostbusters
Don't
video.
say that.
It'll be down the road, but we'll have to watch it. There's a new Ghostbusters coming out. Maybe we'll.
I'm excited for that.
Yep.
I have to watch the one that already came out.
I kind of don't think it looks very good, but anything can be good. That's the
lesson.
Vibe. Yeah. Anyway, but there's a bit in Leo, so it's like she dropped him off at the Everglades. They're going to Six Flags or wherever, and they're on the bus, and everyone like the turtle tells them, he's like, she put him in the Everglades, And then she's like looking at him, like looking at the whole cast. They're like, we got to go do this. We got to go get him. We got to fix this. And then everyone's face turns into Leo's face for like half a second. And he makes this stupid face. He just goes, I'll have to show you. It's like it looks like a shit post, but it's in a Netflix film. I started laughing so hard. That was funnier than anything in the movie so far. It looked like a YouTube poop, I swear to God.
Sometimes Adam Sandler just hits it.
I guess so. He hit my funny bone like right on the corner. It was so funny. Anyway, so Leo's fun. If you got kids, they probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's as much as I got out of it.
I got like 2 movies to talk about. I was going to talk about the Scooby-Doo movie, but I've just got 2 others that I need to talk about more.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I watched the Scooby-Doo movie. The old like 2000s one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's so funny. It's not actually.
It's very early 2000s.
It is.
It is the most early 2000s movie
there's
ever.
There's one part where like I guess I'm talking about a little bit, but there's a part where Daphne tells Fred and Scooby, "You get a Scooby snack and go in this haunted mansion. Like I really need you." And Scooby's like, "Wah wah," and he jumps and then kicks Shaggy in the face.
Oh yeah.
I laughed so hard I looked at Des. I said, "Babe, I don't think you understand. When I was a kid, that was peak comedy, and I'd laugh for 30 minutes straight. I would laugh getting ready for that scene." And she looks at me, she goes, "Well, you did laugh for 5 minutes right now, so I can kind of see that." And I was like. It's so out of left field. He just whoop.
You know what I thought was the funniest thing for a long time was he was dressed up like a grandma.
Yes.
And he goes, the dog needs to get hit on the snout to reinforce the idea. And then Scooby's like,
punches him, dude.
James Gunn
going on a punch.
A punch.
I know, dude. I saw James Gunn on the front, and I said, James Gunn wrote this movie?
He wrote it. I think he wrote it very dark.
He wrote Mr. Bean as the bad guy.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
He wrote it as very much like there was all these dark themes, adult themes really. Yeah. But studio meddling, obviously. It was like, we can't make this, and it's already sort of adult. Like there's a lot of adult stuff in it.
because they're getting possessed by demons.
Yeah.
And then getting sent back to the real world.
And there's like cleavage and midriff, and there's all kind of like
I'm gonna look at myself naked. He goes
also
and he goes.
We have to do a full thing on Scooby-Doo at some point. Maybe for next Halloween or something.
Yeah.
But like that's the perfect cast. And
Matthew Lillard
voices Shaggy in several cartoons now.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Because phenomenal.
He's really
the dog they got for Scooby-Doo.
That dog
spot on looks like him.
And he was able to like emote and like be like a cartoon character. Like
we know it's CGI, but I know there's gonna be a comment like, do they know that it's not actually a real dog?
No, we need comments. You don't need to say that. We don't know. It's a real dog. There's I saw a TikTok it's a YouTube short I think, but it was this guy's and they were talking about the Planet of the Apes movies, and one of the guys was watching his grandma and he goes, the grandma was like, how do they get those apes to do that?
I think I remember seeing that.
Like no, that's fake.
You're dumb.
That's a computer doing that.
It's so funny. There was a part where like Velma's like, I just don't feel like attractive and all this stuff, and you're like,
Linda Cardellini, dude. Oh, she's so attractive,
dude. Baddie. In the second movie, she gets that whole leather latex orange. I'm just like, bazinga. But no, there's a part where Fred's like, hey, I'm not a stereotypical jock. Dorky girls like you turn me on too, and like taps her shoulder and walks away, and she's like, thank you so much.
Dorky babes like you are great too.
But I digress. That was the little bit of Scooby-Doo I'll talk on because I've got 2 others that I need to talk about.
Just enough for us to get a short out of it.
Yeah. But Dez, I'm gonna preface this. I'm not even gonna say the name because it's got to be for the hit. But Dez is constantly amazed about how much I consume like TV and movies and stuff. So the other day she's like, I'm probably gonna go to the bedroom, and I was like, okay, I'll go with you, and I said I was gonna watch YouTube, but then I was like, well, let's just see what Max has got on, So I turn on a movie. And Des like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm watching a movie. She goes, it's 8:30. And I was like, okay, and you're going to bed. What loser's going to bed at 8:30, first of all?
Yeah.
And she goes, what are you even watching? I said, it's Jackie Chan. Or I said, it's The Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie Chan and Jet Li. And she just looks at me. She's like, what? I said, Jet Li plays the Monkey King, and this guy goes back in time. He has to return the staff, and Jackie Chan's in it as like this drunk kung fu guy. It's awesome. And she's just staring at me like contemplating the 5 years that we've been together and just is like, what am I got myself into?
Not even like, what have you done? It's more like, what am I doing?
She ends up going to the guest bedroom. Like, usually she sits in there, but I guess it's just too corny of a movie.
I guess so.
But it's so good.
It's a fun movie, right?
It's such a fun movie.
I haven't seen it, but it sounds like a banger.
You haven't seen The Forbidden Kingdom?
No, bro.
I went through a phase with Jackie Chan. You know, I love all things Jackie Chan. He's like my top 3 actors.
I went through and watched a couple of his like older movies.
Yeah.
Well, he's made a ton of movies.
The Medallion is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
I love the one where he's like...
I watched it as a kid.
Oh, right.
But I remember loving that movie.
Yeah. You watched it as Jackie Chan stand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is the best.
His TV show, dude.
Oh, the Jackie Chan Adventures. Yeah.
You watched that, didn't you?
A lot of great memories
of that show. They get the
medallions.
They get animal powers and stuff.
I never saw all of it. I need to go back. We could binge it at some point.
Binge that.
How many episodes do you think? Like,
there's a lot.
A couple seasons?
Yeah, there's probably like 52.
You sent
Most
me
kids' WB shows would be like 52 episodes.
You sent me a reel of it was like an advertisement for Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah. Oh, with Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like, I caught him, so am I like part of the show now?
It's like, do I get to pick who's on the team? No.
So that was my little tidbit. Forbidden Kingdom is fun. It's goofy. It's got kung fu and it's got the female like love interest for the guy is actually the girl who plays Mulan.
Oh.
In the live action, I didn't realize it. She's kind of like, I thought she was kind of attractive, but then they show her in like the real world, and I'm like, she's hot. Who is this? And then it's like Mulan. I was like, what?
What?
Bad movie, by the way.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Des watched it. She don't like it.
I've given up on the live action.
I don't watch the live actions.
Yeah.
But then on another Marvel, I went and watched the Marvels movie.
The Marvels.
And, you know, it's gotten a lot of hate. When it first was like pre-released, I saw a lot of people saying they were liking it. And I was like, okay. It's gonna be... And I remember watching the trailers and going, oh, me and you talked about it. It looks like a fun movie.
We saw it in the beginning of Blue Beetle or something. And we're like, oh, it looks okay. It looks fun.
Looks fun.
But, like, for me, I haven't seen it because I didn't want to watch Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already seen Miss Marvel, but I forgot what happens in it. You know
don't
what I
really
mean?
have to watch Secret Invasion.
What about Miss Marvel?
Not really. Not to actually to know her origin, but nothing else in the movie is referenced.
What about WandaVision?
They barely briefly. Rambeau has the least amount. She goes, "How'd you get power?" She goes, "I went through a witch's hex like 3 times and it messed up my body, and now I can see through different strands of light."
I'm sure that wasn't cringy at all.
It was, and that's the problem I have is that if without Kamala Khan, I don't know if it's the actress or her or the character. I love her as an actress and the character.
The actress. Keep talking.
She's just fun. She's like a doe-eyed like person who's just hopped into like a superhero scene. She's just like innocent. Like, I'm a superhero. This is fun. She sees Nick Fury and she's like, oh my God, you're Nick Fury. She's just like fangirling over the whole thing. It's refreshing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything. Like, she's like, oh, we're a part of a team. And they're like, no. And she's like, oh, this is the best thing that's ever happened. And she like falls over, you know?
Yeah.
And like her mom, oh, man, Hopper. Her mom, we've talked about how great her mom is, right? From the show.
Her name is Iman Vellani.
Yeah, but her mom in the show.
She's
very motherly and stuff.
She was kind of a twat in the show, though. I was like, oh God, shut the fuck up, lady. Like, let your daughter be a superhero.
I love her so much. She goes, tell them that if anything happens to you, I will come up there and I will kill them. And it's so like raw and stuff. And she's just like, okay, mama. And she like hangs up. She's like, what? She goes, nothing. And I just, everything about her character I love. I love Miss Marvel.
I think this girl's a fan of Miss Marvel. Like,
yes, that's why her name is Miss Marvel.
I'm a big Marvel fan. Like, I think she's writing a Miss Marvel comic book.
Yeah,
like she's in it, and I think she's letting them. Like her powers are all messed up because she's not a
because they all have light-based powers.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they're going for, and it like kind of ties her into or Captain Marvel more.
What's annoying though is they kind of just fix.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just fix.
Oh, so she doesn't have light powers anymore?
No. Like they're not entwined anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's fixed. We don't do that anymore. And you can see Captain Marvel's kind of like, oh, because she was like liking that. Because her whole thing is she's been out alone in space.
Yeah.
She's just kind of begrudgingly of like being part of a team. So when they say that, she's like, oh. Okay.
I like the idea that it's just like Captain Marvel does her powers and like Miss Marvel just gets like shot in space and just dies immediately. Like.
So that's the thing is like, what I love about the movie, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Kamala Khan. What I hate about the movie. A lot of stuff.
Okay? I like the actress that plays Monica Rambeau too. I think she's good.
She's cool. It's just
I even like that character in WandaVision. I thought she was fun.
Sam Jackson literally tells her at one point, "You need to fly and catch her." And she's like, "I don't know how to fly. You better figure it out." She figures it out in the next 5 seconds. How to fly.
That's like one of those multiverse of madness where it's like you can just do it. It's lady's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
She punches. She like does it. You know?
Yeah. So the CGI is pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's whole parts where Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, does not look real, and I'm just like.
Yeah.
There's I don't care about.
It used to be
characters.
so good.
Yeah.
Like, it used to look so like all the Marvel stuff used to look so good.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is major spoiler. the end credits, Monica Rambeau ends up going to a different time universe.
Oh.
She gets picked up by the X-Men.
Oh.
Beast is there.
I heard that. I saw that spoiler. Yeah.
Hopper, he is awful looking.
Oh, he looks bad.
He looks so much cooler in the
in
mid-2000s X-Men, where he looks real.
Is he full CGI in this?
Hopper, he's full CGI.
Oh.
And it's so bad.
Is he big, though? He's a big boy?
No.
He's small?
He's got the same voice, I think, from the
Kelsey
original.
Grammer?
I think it's still Kelsey Grammer.
That was the spoiler I saw that Kelsey Grammer was...
Yeah.
It was someone was like, we're so excited for Miss Marvel to finally fight Rogue and for Rogue to get her powers.
I need you to put, if you can,
I'll
a
find
clip of him on there because it's so bad, Hopper.
Well,
so bad.
I saw the spoiler that I saw was like, oh, I want Rogue to fight Miss Marvel and she'll finally get her powers.
Yeah.
You know, that comic book storyline. And it was like, Kelsey Grammer's Beast. What the
yeah.
like, why?
So that was bad.
It was probably just like, who can we get? You know what I mean?
The villain was not... So essentially after the events of Captain Marvel, the movie, she goes back and she destroys the Supreme Intelligence, the AI that was governing the planet for the Kree. That leads to a civil war between the Kree, and they exhaust their natural resources. Their sun's out, their waters have dried up. So what the main bad guy does is she finds the other bangle that Kamala Khan has.
Oh, okay, that bugged me too during the show. I was like, why aren't there two bangles?
Like,
she's only got one bangle.
So,
I'm glad they addressed that.
Yeah.
I know it's like a small, stupid thing to get mad about.
Well, you know the jump points from like
the Guardians.
Guardians, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about jump points, right? She can hit the bangle. The bangles are supposed to use it to go through space time. That's what they're used for. And so when she does that, it messes with all their powers.
That's what, she went back in time in the show, didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what she's doing, she's going to different planets. She goes to a completely water world, takes their water, says, this is mine now. Goes to a different planet, takes their atmosphere. Goes to Earth, and is going to take the sun to bring all this back to the original.
The plot from Spaceballs?
She ends up dying.
Hold on. Isn't that the plot from Spaceballs?
Probably. I don't know.
They like suck all the natural resources.
It's been a minute since I watched Spaceballs.
Hold on a minute. Did Miss Marvel
rip off Spaceballs? I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. But the villain, she's not believable. She looks like a girl version of guy. What's his name? Ronan.
Oh, okay.
She's got like the shoulders. She's got the axe or the hammer thing.
They were like, "What's the weakest part of Guardians?
Yeah.
Let's get that back in."
She looks a lot like Amelia
Clark.
A lot. Like a lot. It's the
It's a
cheeks.
secret
I think
invasion
it's
thing.
the cheeks.
Okay.
But anyway, so she ends up grabbing both bangles, and they go, "That energy will kill you. Don't do it." She does the whole Wonder Woman thing.
Okay.
Literally burns up and dies while ripping a hole in the space time.
Oh my god.
She just dies.
Wait, rips a hole in space time?
Yeah. So Monica has to go in and shut it, and then she's on the other side and passes out.
Oh, okay.
And
interesting.
So, I don't care for Monica character, Captain Marvel. I don't care for her. There's a whole bit.
Captain Marvel's not been. I mean, like she was, even like in her own movie.
Well, listen, I've rewatched the first movie.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I don't like her
enjoyable.
character in it.
Yeah, but
like,
everything else is good.
Well, I don't like too that they were like reestablished, like they kind of retconning. I know we can tell what retcon, but like they kind of like go through and they make Sam Jackson's eye thing a joke. I don't like that. I didn't like that she didn't know who she was the whole time. Yeah. I thought that. I mean, there's a way to do like memory loss, but it's kind of a lazy plot mechanic because like, oh, we don't know who you are. We gotta find out who you are. By the end of it, you're like, who is she? I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that was another thing. You remember in Captain Marvel, they had the cat with the tentacles?
Yeah.
So Miss Marvel sees her and she's like, oh, kitty. And it does that. She's like, oh my God. It's great. The cat ends up giving birth to like a bunch of little kittens that can do that. And the whole thing is like, they're in that space station thing that Nick Fury is building. And it's crashing. Like, they can't get everyone off. It's bad because the sun's getting imploded and stuff. So you know how they fix this?
They eat it.
They have the cats eat every person on board, and then they put those cats in the last few remaining lifeboats. And then when they come back out, the cats spit them out.
That's some furry That's some vor I'm not about it.
Yeah, and like all the employees are running around, and so all the Marvels are like, stop, please. And she's like, I'm sorry. And she's like running around with a cat, getting it to eat people, and then throwing it in the thing. And it's like,
that's foul.
Yeah, dude. And then you've got just Kamala's parents and brother are there. I'm telling everything about Kamala and her family is the best part of this movie.
I think they really underserved that character and that family.
Yeah.
Because like the show it suffered because they wanted to set up obviously for the Marvels.
Yes. There's when she gets teleported away and it's Miss Captain Marvel walks down the stairs. So Kamala comes in and she's like, Kamala, the mom is. She's like, Kamala, why was Captain Marvel in your room? What's going on?
Okay,
is she pressuring you?
Hold on, you need to watch that show then to get the first part of the movie.
Yeah, but it shows that in the movie too.
Okay.
It shows her getting teleported. And Kamala goes, did you say that Captain Marvel was in my bedroom? Shuts down. She's just like, Oh my.
She just comes.
This is the best day of my life. And bro, I'm telling I would beg, if you want to watch the movie, watch it for nothing else than Kamala Khan.
It'll be on Disney Plus, and it's like a T-5 day countdown.
Yeah, like literally watch it just for Kamala. I love Kamala Khan in this. I can't stress enough. Give her own stuff.
Well, okay, keep her show going, but like overhaul it. Yeah, do it. And fix the special effects too.
Oh, it's bad.
It looks bad. It all looks bad.
Go back to some natural stuff, dude. Look at Pirates.
Just do it like on a physical set.
Pirates.
You have a house. Be in a house. Like, it doesn't all need to be blue screen CGI stuff. Yeah.
And our main problem with the show was that it just stopped. It goes up. Oh, there's the ending. You know what I mean?
Out of nowhere almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my main problem with it. The graphics, I was like, well, it was Disney. You should have done better. You're massive corporation.
That was before I was like, I'd lost all hope in Marvel. Like I'm still,
it started out so fun. We had so much high hopes for the character in the show.
And even watching like the Iron Man movies, like the first phase of it was kind of meh. Like Iron Man was great. The Hulk was okay. Iron Man 2 was okay. Thor's okay. Captain America's good average. You know, I liked Captain America.
You didn't have as much adventurous stuff with Captain America.
Right. But then Avengers, like, wow, super good.
And
then,
it looked great.
Phase 2 was like pretty good. If what I remember, pretty good.
Yeah.
Thor 2.
Phase 2 kind of blurs a little bit.
Right. Like Avengers 2 is sort of where it's like, okay, this is fun, but like there's not much substance in it. Do what?
That was the end of Phase 2.
Okay. But there's not much substance to it. You know, it's just kind of like, and like Ultron should be a bigger deal. But like it looks good. All of it looks good.
I loved Ultron.
And I think now the problem is they're putting so much on their effects artists.
Yeah.
Aren't they like trying to unionize now?
Yeah.
So like they're probably under terrible conditions.
Yeah, they're like, we hate this, and people are making now we're making bad stuff, and our reputation's down the drain.
Right, I don't want to blame anybody for that, but they did fire.
It's easy to blame the suits.
Right,
just blame the suits.
Well, I think it's all the company. Yeah, it's all the
board
companies.
members. You don't know how to they want to. It's like micromanaging. You know what I mean? You don't know how to do that, but you want to put your hand in it like you do.
Also, it's like you hire all these creative people and you stifle their visions.
Yes, like quit. You hired them for a reason. You're there to make the company run. They're there to make your movies. Quit trying to blend the two. That doesn't work.
No.
And we've had this conversation before, but it's the main talking point. People want to micromanage their group. Why would you hire someone like James Gunn and then try to restrict him, or like with Sam Raimi and the multiverse? Right. Don't let him make his movie.
I kept seeing a lot of.
You hired him for a reason.
I kept seeing a lot of video titles, and it's a bit on YouTube where like you can tell that people did their research and they saw what was trending and what was popular, and I'll do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Marvel's in crisis. I saw the word crisis and I saw the word Marvel.
It's a reactionary video.
This video will be titled "A Crisis at Marvel."
No, it will not be.
It could be. We could get clicks.
It would get views.
Yeah,
but we're not like that. We're not sellouts until we start making money.
We're built different until
we start making
money. That nice sweet check.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of blurred there. Anyway, but I was just like, okay, why are all these channels saying there's a crisis at Marvel? Marvel's been in a crisis
for 2 years.
Right, and like they'll make another hit and it'll make another $1 billion, but Avengers 3 and 4 made so much money that they can just make crap until because they know they got their fan base and they've got a secured fan base. And granted, they're alienating people like us who like good storytelling.
And it sucks because I love superhero. I've watched every superhero movie, and I've hated half of them since Endgame. But I keep watching them because I just love superheroes.
DC, man, they put out some stinkers. Like,
I'm excited for Aquaman though.
Aquaman looks good. Anyway, I don't know.
But that was the second movie. It was very. I literally told Des, I said mid. 100% mid. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it.
I mean, I know it did very poorly at the box office.
It's not a Marvel killer. It's not that bad. It really isn't. I think people are just finally saying, you know what? If it's mid, I'm not going to watch it. And I think that's why it bombed.
I think people are getting fatigued about the TV shows. I know fatigue is like kind of a buzzword, but I think you don't need to have 2 seasons of a television 3 because WandaVision. You don't need to have 3 seasons of a television show to go into a movie. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean?
And I mean, we've talked about it too. James Gunn said it perfectly. They're not superhero fatigued. They're fatigued on bad movies.
Yes, I love that quote.
Because
Guardians 3 came out. I was there day one. Amazing film.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, we will go watch these movies. You have an audience. People love superhero movies.
Blue Beetle was good.
Yes. But that's why I always said, like, if you go and watch the movie, you love Blue Beetle. No one went and watched it. That was the problem, you know? Because they expected it to be bad.
There was good word of mouth, though, but I think they kind of cut it. Like, they took it off.
They did. I don't think they did it just.
Soon,
yeah. Because it's already on Max, but... I want a second Blue Beetle movie. I'm so ready for Blue Beetle.
I'm ready for that character to be. I mean, even if it's not like direct sequel, I would love him to just come back, like sort of like how they did with Daredevil.
I will die a happy man if I get a Blue Beetle sequel and a Static Shock movie.
I think they're doing that, right?
I am so ready for it. Yeah, I love Static.
Pete's Tower. It is a very fun game.
So are you done with Pokemon Fusion?
Some brittle floss. I'm taking a break. Yeah. I got kind of overwhelmed. I got to Elite Four, and I got like 2 of them down. I was saved in the middle, and I'm like, I gotta just wait.
Yeah.
I gotta just think a little bit.
Yeah.
I know I could probably do it.
So what's it about? What's Pizza Tower about?
Pizza Tower is a Wario-like. So it's a platformer, but it's in the style of Wario 4 because they haven't given us a new Wario game, like a Wario platformer, in decades, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
But I've been following this game for a while because the motion looks very fun. Like the whole idea of the game is that you just want to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like a Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Like you just hold the right trigger, you just go. You don't even have to push the direction. You just go where you're facing. You can grab characters and throw them, use them as projectiles. You have little boss fights where you suddenly get a health bar.
Are these like pizza-themed bosses?
Yeah, like the first one's a big pepper.
Oh,
and the second one's like a big...
Why are you playing this game?
Dude, it's awesome. Are you kidding me? It was on sale for Black Friday.
Bert Kreischer after talking
about awesome.
The Kool-Aid. He's like, Kool-Aid is awesome. Don't do the laugh. Oh, I hate that laugh.
Pizza Tower is great. Anyway, that kind of hurt my voice.
Yeah, the reason why he's always red-faced.
Yeah, I haven't beat it yet, so I can't talk on it too much. But like the pizza theme, but like one of them's a cowboy that's like just a hunk of dough, and it shoots out little dough bullets. It's just like it's really cute. The guy I'm facing now he's called the Noise, which is like a play on the Noid from the Domino's commercials.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty fun. He's very annoying, but he's clear parody of that. The whole thing's drawn like MS Paint style.
Yeah.
It looks
bad. Did you pay for this game?
No, yeah, it's an awesome game.
Did you pay for it?
I paid reduced because of Black Friday.
Oh, naturally. So how much did you pay for this game, Hopper?
Like $10.
That is too much.
No, you haven't even seen it. You don't know.
You just said MS Paint.
Okay, but it's intentional. They did that intentionally. It's like a throwback to like 90s cartoons or something, where like everything's off model. He's running around, and it doesn't look bad. I know it's not MS Paint, but that's a good thing. That's a
okay. I'm totally excited to play this game, guys.
There's moments where he's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style. Like he looks like he's all buff and he's about to take on a boss. But most of the time, like there's a little screen in the corner that shows you his face and everything. And he's most of the time just anxious, and then he gets like when he's running around, he gets all pissed off, and it's a cute game. And I love that style, like Wario style. Like you go through the level, and it's sort of a Sonic the Hedgehog like non-linear level. Like you can go several different paths, and there's secrets to find, like a Donkey Kong or something.
Yeah.
Or I guess Sonic has those too.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Like you want to go fast. Like it feels so good when you're like going a million miles an hour, just jumping over stuff, and you know exactly where stuff is. You can come back. But you trigger like a little bomb, essentially. In Wario, it's a bomb, but in this, it's just like a little guy you knock over, and it starts like a timer. And you have to get out of the level. So you've went through the whole level. Now you have to get out of the level and go as fast as possible. Wow. It feels like it was kind of designed for speedrunners too. Yeah. Like there's all these little strats you can do to make yourself go faster.
How far into it are you?
I think I'm like 4 levels in.
How many levels are there?
I don't know how many levels there are, but I'm just enjoying it. I'm kind of playing it like on and off. Like when I'm not busy editing, I can just throw on Pizza Tower.
Yeah.
But it is stressful. It's one of those things where like I can't play this game to relax because like it could piss me off.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. It's a great time.
I'm mocking you so much right now.
It's great. You don't like platformers, so it probably isn't up your alley.
I hate platformers, dude.
But you're still playing Elden Ring?
Yeah, I'm on my second playthrough. My buddy's on his 4th character.
Oh damn.
He's blowing through it.
He's blowing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the walkthrough the first time, but the second time I didn't watch the walkthrough. So it feels more freeing, and I'm doing a different build and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, good.
It's just such a fun game.
What did you binge this November? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know anything, because, I mean, like, we will watch anything. If we have not watched something, tell us in the comments. We will watch it.
Yes.
100%.
And especially since, like, we're doing Ben 10, and then we're also doing the alternating things.
Yeah.
If you want us to watch a certain series, Rush Hours... Well, no, we're doing Invincible next.
Yeah, we've got Invincible coming out. We've got Gen V after that.
Probably. I kind of want to wait almost until, like, season 4 of The Boys comes out or something.
Oh, okay.
Talk about it. Because I kind of already forgot a little bit of what happened in Gen V.
Yeah, we went through that one.
I
think I finished it in like 2 days.
Yeah. Phenomenal show, though.
Yeah, really good.
I'll probably want to rewatch it before we talk about it again.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of hit heavier since we know all the twists and stuff.
Yeah. But, yeah, stay tuned for those. We got some big things coming to the channel.
Thank you for sticking with us. If you want to see anything specific from us, like you want to see us play games or something, we'd be open to that.
We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're a dancing monkey for you guys.
For you guys. And I'm having fun.
Yeah. We're having a great time. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit longer, but hope you guys like the content.
It's beyond the binge. Oh, check us out on Twitter and not Twitter. Check us out on Instagram.
Yeah,
and,
I saw we
TikTok.
were on Instagram.
We had one, but like Meta man is not good with like posting, like scheduling. It's just like I'll schedule something and then it'll go away. So I'm like, I got to post these individually now. That sucks.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. So we're more active on there. I'm posting stories and stuff too.
Yeah.
Just come say hey to us. Just send us a little comment or
Yeah.
do whatever you want to do.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.